bro. Open the door, you're gonna get hurt. Fill that.
I'm doing.
You're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Open it or I'm gonna hit you with it. Open it or I'm gonna hit you with it, believe me now.
Yeah, grab them. There you go, bro.
There we go.
There you go. Stay there, mate. Stay there. No one's gonna get hurt.
Make it quick and leave.
No one's gonna get hurt. Just stay there.
I'm feeling really nervous and I'm going to start picking
Stay
on
there.
It's good.
Yeah, mate, it's only gonna be hurt.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you very much.
Knife-wielding robbers who targeted various shops around the Leeds area with his friend while they were both on tag have been put before the courts. Brazen Jeffrey Chikosha, 25, told a probation worker he wanted money to buy presents for his family for Christmas before he robbed two shops in Leeds. Leeds Crown Court heard that he was on tag alongside his co-defendant Brandon Jarrett for aggravated vehicle taking when they took their criminal enterprise to the next level. The prosecutor told the court that the pair first targeted the Skelton Wood Post Office in White Laithe Approach, Whinmoor, at around 6:30 p.m. on December the 13th, 2021. She said the defendants entered with their identities concealed and armed with weapons. They demanded a staff member to open the tills in order to steal money and filled a sack with cigarettes and other items. They were both on curfew at the time. There was a customer there at the time. One of the men said they were not there to hurt them, and if they did what they were told, they wouldn't be harmed. They told a staff member to open the till, and she said she was in fear for her life and thought Jarrett may use the machete on her. One of the defendants helped himself to alcohol from the shop as they left. The court heard that one of the conditions of Chikosha and Jarrett's release from custody was that they were not to associate with each other. In a victim impact statement, one of the workers said they were unable to sleep in the weeks afterwards and was very anxious about working. Miss Dasula added she is intimidated when groups of people come into the shop and she feels uneasy. She also states she experienced flashbacks after being pushed back by a robber. Chikosha and Jarrett then did the same again 10 days later, and this time of the London store in Wetherby Road. Miss Dasulu said a staff member was there with her husband who was helping her and a customer when 4 men burst in. She said Mr. Chikosha leapt over the counter and began filling a bag with cigarettes. Jarrett told her to open the till and she couldn't. He tried and kept shouting at her to open the till. She got her phone and he saw this and got it and threw it across the store. Chikosha saw this and smashed the till, managing to get it open. The shop worker said there was around £300 in the till at the time and tried to reach for the emergency button. One of the defendants saw this and pushed the woman, causing her to fall against the counter. The court heard how they recalled seeing a number of men shouting and saw one with a long sword. Miss Dasulu said he saw the men trying to get into the till, and there came a time when one pointed the sword at him and he told them to get their F off. He swung the swords inches from his face and did it again, and he shouted again. The customer then threw a crate of beer at the man, which caused them all to leave shortly after. But they continued, and on December the 29th struck a corp in Selby Road, armed, wearing face coverings. Miss Dasulu said a customer reported seeing 3 men going into the shop with their faces covered and armed with machetes. One of the men, it was said, asked the shop worker to open the till before grabbing money from it. The prosecutor said another was putting cigarettes into a small duvet cover. She added that Chikosha has 8 previous convictions for 13 offences, including theft and assault, occasioning actual bodily harm. Jarrett, 23, has 12 previous convictions for the offences, including possession of an offensive weapon in a public place. Mitigating for Chikosha, Michael O'Brien said he had told the probation worker he had wanted money to buy presents for his family for Christmas. The court heard he had been found guilty of 3 counts of robbery and 3 counts of possession of a bladed article after a trial. Mr. O'Brien said despite having a trial, it seems that not only in the letter to you but also in the pre-sentence report he has managed to persuade the author he shows insight into his behaviour and the impact of his actions and motivation to change those actions in the future. He is 25 and the fact he ran a trial shows the immaturity. There is no serious violence on his record. A letter from his aunt shows that when he is released, it seems he will be in a position where his family will support him and help him to get his life back on track. Mitigating for Jarrett, Christopher Dunn said he was 21 at the time and has worked while in prison. He said, when looking at his history, while he is an irritating insect, when it comes to his offending, it was nothing of this type. When one sets it against a background of what occurred, I would submit this is one of those cases that could fall into the same category as his co-accused when you assess the issue of dangerousness. The court was told Jarrett had pleaded guilty to all of the charges at an earlier hearing. Recorder Dallas jailed Chikosha for 9 years and Jarrett for 6 years and 9 months. He told them shopkeepers and their workers are extremely vulnerable and provide an important public service. They are open for long hours and are vulnerable to people like you, who probably saw them as easy targets. You got away with several thousands of pounds in cash and cigarettes and left behind at least 3 people who will not forget this for a long time. The judge commended the customer in the second robbery who threw a crate of beer at the robbers and referred him to the High Sheriff of West Yorkshire. Following the sentencing, Detective Inspector Vicky Vesey, who heads Leeds District Crime Team, said Jarrett and Chikosha are prolific criminals who were responsible for this series of armed robberies that saw the victims put through really frightening ordeals. They were masked and armed with samurai swords during these incidents, and the victims were put in genuine fear that they could get seriously hurt. We do not underestimate the traumatic impact that these incidents will have had on them. The footage from the robbery at the Londis store shows very starkly what a terrifying experience this was for those involved. It is important that we recognise the incredible bravery of the customer who, despite facing 3 masked men armed with swords, stood up to them, fought back and chased them from the store. While we always advise people caught up in such potentially dangerous situations to put their safety first, his actions clearly made the difference in bringing this incident to a conclusion before anyone was seriously hurt. We will be making sure that his courage is formally recognised through our awards process. Jarrett and Chikosha have demonstrated that they give absolutely no thought for the terror and trauma they have brought to people's lives during these incidents. We hope the significant sentences they receive will help to reassure the victims and the wider community. We know that the offenders like them to brag about, no face, no case, and they wear masks while committing offences, but DC Andrews' detailed knowledge of local criminals and investigative skills have shown them that their arrogance is misplaced. Please like this video, please comment, and I would love it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.